The head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, Rick Campbell, the previous 2 years, the defensive coordinator of the Calgary Stampeders, back at McMahon Stadium to take on his old team, and not the only one coming back to face the Stamps, having played there before. John Gott as well. Henry Burris from a few years before that. Hi there and welcome. As we finish up Week 7 in the Canadian Football League, glad you could join us in the CFL and TSN. Rod Smith along with Paul Lapalisse, back from Montreal watching the Alouettes lose to the Eskimos last night. Matt Dunnigan back in the studio. Of course, the stalwart at the end, Mr. Chris Schultz, with us as well. Calgary and Ottawa, their last meeting in the CFL was the Stampeders and the Renegades. That goes back to 2005. Henry Burris was on the other side then, the quarterback of the Stampeders. So a lot has certainly changed, and it's been a struggle early on for the REDBLACKS. Let's face it, especially last week, Lapo, against Saskatchewan. Calgary coming off its first loss. Let's talk about who to watch for in this game tonight.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Martel Mallett. That's a kid who hasn't played a game in 4 years. Thought he's going to be pretty rusty? Not at all. He's got 14 carries, 116 yards, 8 yards a carry, throw in 6 catches, 59 yards receiving. You know, this is a kid who is going to be crucial to Calgary's offense because they love the play-action pass. It's a staple of what they do. For them to have success, they need to get him going tonight, guys.
Lepo, we've been talking a lot behind the scenes tonight about the possibilities of how this game could go between Calgary and the REDBLACKS. And I just want you to concentrate, not on the football in tonight's game, but Charleston Hughes, the rush end for the Calgary Stampeders. This guy is simply phenomenal. And, you know, there's a stat that we keep now, and it's called defensive stops, and that's sacks, tackles for losses, tackles for no gains, and knockdowns. Charleston Hughes is third in the league right now, and I can tell you that he wreaks havoc on anybody. He has a quarterback sack in each of the 5 games the Stamps have played this year, Schultz. He is fun to watch. If the game does get out of hand, check this guy out, number 39, doing his thing.
Matt, Paul, Rod, I'm not going to talk about one guy. I'm going to get greedy, and I'm going to talk about 12 different guys. That defense for the REDBLACKS, they better come up and play a great game for 2 reasons. Number one, the longer the game stays closer, the confidence of the REDBLACKS goes up, the confidence of the Calgary Stampeders goes down. They can't fall behind 24-0. Now, the other reason is when you are playing from that level of your deficit, if this is your playbook going into the game, all those well-practiced plays that you have rehearsed and you're down, the situation's everything good, this is what they do. They go like, nope, this ain't going to work anymore because we're playing from a deficit. And those
are my notes, Schultz.
Oh, sorry,
you can make some new ones. So you're player to watch.
You know what?
I was going to say player to watch, players to watch, right? You got 12 of them to watch.
I got 12 of them to watch. Right?
Well, Ottawa, after this, will head back home and take on the Edmonton Eskimos, who won last night. Pleased to say that Eric Samuels has traveled with the Eskimos, with the team. They're spending the week in Ottawa. Samuels, if you saw the game last night, he suffered a neck injury. It was a frightening moment where he was taken off on a stretcher, but out of hospital and with the Eskimos in Ottawa. So good news there. And as for Calgary, losing their first one, it was a former Stamp QB, Kevin Glenn, beating him on a last-minute drive. Another former QB hoping to do the same to them tonight, the CFL on TSN.
Go Stamps, go! Go Stamps, go! Go Stamps, go!
Week 7 wraps up on Family Day at McMahon, and a reunion for many former Stampeders now with the REDBLACKS. Ottawa tackles Calgary on a sensational Saturday evening in southern Alberta.
For the REDBLACKS, Henry Burris returns to the team in the city where he made 2 stops over 10 years. In his 7 years as a starter, led the team to 71 wins. And, of course, that 2008 Grey Cup championship facing Bo Levi Mitchell, who suffered his first loss as a starter for the Calgary Stampeders against the BC Lions a week ago. We'll see tonight how he handles the adversity of his first loss.
And John Huffnagle Stampeders suffering their first loss on home turf, but boy, they've had the ability to bounce back under Huff. Calgary 25-6-1 in the game following a loss. Rick Campbell, the former Stampeder D coordinator, suffered his first worst loss as a head coach last week against Saskatchewan, and we'll see how they bounce back, looking for their first road win and their first win against a Western opponent. 4-1 against 1-4. Interestingly, the winner, regardless, Calgary or Ottawa, grabs a share of first place in the respective division.
A lot of former Stampeders playing for the REDBLACKS.
And Rene Paredes gets set to kick it off. Slight breeze will be at the back of Ottawa in this opening quarter. It'll be DJ Harper on the return. And up to the 35-yard line, Henry Burris, for the third consecutive week, comes out to face his former team.
Yeah, another team that gives him the sentence that no player likes to hear. Son, we're going in a different direction. That was the Calgary Stampeders a couple of years ago. John Gott, former Stampeder as well, part of that trade before the expansion draft. Dobson Collins came up with a play last week that hasn't happened like that since 1966.
First down and the handoff inside. Not much there as he was met up by Sean Lemon of the defensive line of Calgary.
Defensive starters to watch for the Stamps. Keon Raymond has a knack for the big play. 63-yard interception, touchdown return against BC. Charleston Hughes may have competition in the category of best rush end in the CFL with John Chick. He's reminded of that before this game. Fred Bennett leads the team with a couple of picks.
Starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard. 2nd and 8. Burris has some time, airing it out downfield and missing Dobson Collins, who was a step in behind Jamar Wall. So a 2 and out for the Red Blacks to start.
Yeah, not the way you want to start if you're on the road against a very good football team like Calgary. Get a few drives, try and take the wind out of the sails as you start this football game. Didn't happen for Ottawa. They'll give Bo Levi Mitchell the football in 2 plays.
Brett Maher has punted the ball well this year. Jock Sanders has it at his 22. And Sanders works his way up beyond the 30-yard line as Bo Levi Mitchell heads onto the field for the first time, coming off a loss in his Canadian Football League career.
Well, faced some adversity in that game against BC, threw a pick 6 last week, and see how he bounces back from that loss. Martel Mallet out of the game for 4 years, didn't have any rust on him at all, 175 yards from scrimmage. And Dan Faderkyle anchors an offensive lineman that's got to be in the discussion as the best O-line in the Canadian Football League.
First offensive play for the Stampeders. They go to Martel Mallet, who had that big game last week with 116 yards rushing, 59 receiving.
Shakeups on defense for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. TJ Hill was released this week. Antoine Pruneau will play for him. Justin Capicotti, speaking of opportunities, made his first start last week and made the best of it. 6 tackles and a quarterback sack, playing for Chris McCoy. He'll play there again. And Travis Brown's no longer a rookie. He's got to step up. His challenge tonight will be Martel Mallet.
Mallet gets 7 on his first carry. 2nd and 3. They fake the sweep to McDaniel. Bo Levi Mitchell, and Martel Mallet was the intended target. Looked like he got caught up with Brandon Lang, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, I don't think there was any interference here. It looked like Lang and Mallet just trying to get to that ball, and it kind of stumbled over each other. A couple of 2 and outs for both teams. Well, maybe a little pull there from Brandon Lang upon further review. Got away with that one.
So the former Brampton Bulldog, Rob Baver, to punt on 3rd down. And this will bounce down inside the 30, and Jamil Smith's momentum takes him out at the 31. Henry Burris back at McMahon, and looking to get this Red Black offense going against his former team. Red Blacks will start at their 20, a holding penalty against former Calgary Dino James Green on that last return. So Henry Burris back to work. Has not beaten the Stampeders since he was traded to Hamilton after the 2011 season. And he has Wallace Miles completion. And the forward progress enough for a first down up beyond the 31-yard line.
Good throw there from the guy who spent 2 different stops here in Calgary from 97 to 99, was basically a backup then. 2 starts for Burris in that stint. And then in 05 to 11, he was the guy. Led the team to 71 wins. Grey Cup championship in 08. As you mentioned, just one win since then as a Saskatchewan Roughrider or a Hamilton Tiger Cat against his old team here.
1st and 10. Looks for Marcus Henry, and he is cut down immediately. Jamar Wall moves up on Henry, who makes his 22nd catch of the year. Comes into this game 7th in CFL receiving.
Before the game, Henry Burris still with a lot of old friends here in Calgary, both on the team, and of course will be fans in the stands that are good friends with him. Spent all that time here. There's Charleston Hughes, the guy who'll be chasing him down all game long. And I'm with Matt Dunnigan, who talked before the game about watch this guy, focus in. We are going to, Matt. He's a good one.
Charleston's going to want to wrap his arms around Burris a few times today. There's a drop pass in the flat. Wallace Miles can't hang on with Fred Bennett there defensively. So 1 first down on that second possession for Ottawa, but once again, they'll punt the football away.
I guess you can consider that progress, but again, the Red Blacks need to get a little confidence after getting it handed to them in the first half against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in their last game, and they need to start believing.
Mahar's boot, and that has Sanders backpedal to the 18. 57-yard punt, but a great return. Jock Sanders across midfield. And he'll finally get bumped out by Jasper Simmons. 51 on the return after the big boot by Maher to outkick the coverage. So things set up for Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary offense when we return to McMahon.
Great, Chris. I think Jock Sanders took advantage of Maher out kicking the coverage. Watch, he gets a hold of this one, but his first cover guy, you want to be around 5 yards away from the returner when he catches the ball. The first guy's 12, the second guy's about 15. So that gives Jock Sanders lots of room to make a move, find an alley, and away he goes down the sideline.
Sanders had a missed field goal return for 121 yards against Toronto. That's the longest punt return of the season. Here's Marquay McDaniel with a catch, and there's the initial first down for Calgary as McDaniel takes it inside the 30-yard line.
Talked to John Huffnagel before the game about how Bo Levi Mitchell didn't practice after coming off that first loss. Said it was business as usual. Said the guy worked so hard anyway. Really didn't notice any difference between his preparation week after the loss to BC or the previous 5.
It's a 45.
In his last 3 starts, has averaged 184 yards passing, 14 to McDaniel on a first down, and a look inside for Jeff Fuller, who is dropped at the 20.
He's trying to get him on rhythm now with a couple of quick throws. He's taking that ball, not dropping back into 7-step, looking down the field. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly. A little slant route there, and Marquay McDaniel on that wide receiver, or that slot back hitch pass.
2nd and 1, the short yardage team comes in. Drew Tate, Tim St. Pierre, Pierre Lavertu all check in. And they'll shift to the right side and get the first down on the feet to Drew Tate, dragged down by Jarrell Gavins.
Boy, Drew Tate, you know he's got confidence in his O-line when he takes the ball in short yardage off the line of scrimmage and moves laterally with it like this. You've got to believe that your O-line will reestablish the line of scrimmage to do that, because you take the ball off the line and don't just dive forward with it, you get caught by a defensive lineman hitting the hole. He believes in those guys up front, as does Bo Levi Mitchell.
Stampeders threatening here, 1st and 10 at the 16. Pocket starting to collapse into the end zone, and incomplete. Intended for Fuller once again.
I'm not so sure Mitchell didn't just throw that away. It looked like he was on his heels there.
Reggie Jones was in coverage.
I think you're right. Like Fuller made it look like he was trying to hit him, but he's in sort of full retreat mode here. Just kind of chucks it, tries to get it out of bounds. Yeah, Fuller had the post pattern. He just reacted to the football.
Jones replacing the injured Javon Johnson on the corner for the 2nd straight week. 2nd and 10. And the pass over the middle is caught, and stretching out is McDaniel. Simmons the tackle. Excuse me, that's Anthony Parker with the catch. And it will be a gain of 8, 3rd and 2, and a decision for John Hufnagel.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's Parker wants to say it's not 2, it's only about half a yard.
But the field goal team's coming on. So Rene Paredes, who has hit his last 6.
Little respect for the opponent, too, maybe from John Hufnagel. Take the points when you're in plus territory. Well, or have something on.
You put something on as Mitchell steps up and slides. First down, touchdown. Well, if Rick Campbell's got gadget plays, John Hufnagel's going to show him. The old master does too. 8-yard touchdown run out of what started as field goal formation.
Little adjustment here. The holder, Bo Levi Mitchell, on this play steps up, takes a snap, and now he's just trying to get the edge, and he does. Well blocked up front.
First touchdown run of the year for Bo Levi Mitchell. And the Stampeders strike first on an 8-yard run for the quarterback. Sanders, and a 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, Bo Levi Mitchell is the regular holder, so they have their personnel out for the field goal. That's Junior Turner, defensive player. He steps in there at tight end. He's going to make the key block. They shift down. The quarterback comes under center again. And now they're just going to run that sweep. I'll show you Turner. Stop it there. He gets the edge block, and away they go. Number 7 with the big block there for Calgary.
Tim St. Pierre, the long snapper, didn't have to stretch out to get the ball to Bo Levi Mitchell that time. DJ Harper in some trouble, and he'll be brought down shy of the 20-yard line. Check that, Siobhan Walker on the return. So once again, the Red Blacks don't get good field position to start for Henry Burris.
Well, this is where it's important for Ottawa to make something happen in this series, in this drive. Reestablish field position, get a few first downs. Important for Henry Burris. When you're a young team like Ottawa, like last week, games can slip away from you quickly in the first half. Get a little momentum by a good football team on the other sideline. Got to stop it immediately.
Working against the stingiest defense point-wise in the CFL. Back into the hands of Walker. And a little sidestep. Bounced it to the 23. Give Walker 4. 4th in the league in rushing, and now over 300 yards for the season with that carry.
10 catches in the last 3 games as well, so they're using him in a lot of ways out of the backfield. There have been quarters where he's disappeared. I talked to Coach Campbell about that. He said, yeah, that's a mistake. We want to get him the ball every quarter.
Empty it out here, 2nd and 6. Dumped off underneath. Marcus Henry the catch, and he'll be short of the first down. Had to get to the 29. Going to be 3rd and a couple.
Well, close enough that they're going to send the chains in and take a look at it. So I was with you, Chris.
Yeah, the spot on the other side of the field might have been a little.
I was with you.
Yeah.
I thought it was about 2 yards, but it's going to be less than that. 3rd and about a yard. Rick Campbell not taking any chances at this end of the field.
So the second 2 and out for Ottawa, unless they have something on 3rd down out of punt formation.
Down here, man, that'd be crazy.
Maher with the wind at his back. Number team down a little quicker. But Sanders, a tough guy to corral. Brought down by Antoine Pruneau as Bo Levi Mitchell gets set to go back to work.
Hey, today, there's going to be about 60 plays of offense, 60 plays of defense, and 30 plays of special teams. You concentrate on just winning those plays one play at a time. You get that done, you win the game. It's got to be fast, it's got to be smart, and it's got to be with an edge. Okay, let's go get this done. Here we go.
A guy who knows his way around McMahon, and he knows how to get to McMahon. Literally walked to the stadium from downtown today, 7Ks, and he's made this walk before, but not from the visitors' room.
A couple guys wondering on his team as well if they'd go to the wrong sideline by mistake here tonight.
Stamp start at their own 42-yard line. Martell Mallett, left side, hole, flag comes down as he gets wrestled down at the 53. Mallett had a 57-yard run as part of his 116 in his return to the Canadian Football League last week. Tom Valesi is the referee for tonight's game. And it's going against Calgary, which will negate an 11-yard pickup. And Keith Sholigan getting the options. He's the new captain for Ottawa on defense.
Major foul, crackback block. Calgary number 16. 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So the penalty against Markway McDaniel.
Markway McDaniel comes from outside the box and then goes down low and tackles defensive lineman for the Red Blacks. It's called there, puts his team in a hole.
Stampeders had only 6 penalties last week, 50 yards against BC, averaging 11 for 100 on the season. So 1st and 25. Eric Fraser was showing blitz, the former Stampeders safety. He backs away. A lot of time for Bo Levi Mitchell, but now Brandon Lang in pursuit over the middle. Incomplete. As Parker, prior to the game, we talked to the Red Black coach about being back in Calgary.
That's a different feeling actually walking into the stadium. Obviously we knew we were playing Calgary, but you're so busy preparing during the week and just going through that whole process of getting ready to play a game. But it's going to be great to come back here and see a lot of people that had good relationships with, a lot of people I respect, players and coaches, and it'll be good to be back. But it's going to be, you know, it's all about trying to win a football game.
2nd and 25, Bo Levi Mitchell, and incomplete. As Parker stretched up for that one, just out of his reach.
Nice reaction there in the zone defense from Reggie Jones playing on that corner. He drops out of there now. He's got 2 threats, one on the inside to him, and you'll see it as it develops. Markway McDaniel is going to run a wheel route. Go ahead and run it, guys. And he goes down. He goes out to the sideline and then down. Now hold it here. See the turn by Reggie Jones. Makes a nice play so that McDaniel can't make a circus catch.
Maber kicking into the wind. Jamil Smith at his 38. Sidesteps one. Flag comes down as he runs out after an 11-yard return. Another late flag on the play. So a couple for the Valesi crew to sort out. And the coach is going to be addressing that. Last week, 19 penalties for Ottawa, 168 yards, 9 of them on special teams. Only 2 penalties charged against the Red Black defense in their game against Saskatchewan, and that's Glenn Love, who has been shaken up. Backup linebacker and special teams demon.
Gets hit hard from Antoine Pruneau.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Holding, Ottawa number 45. Objectionable conduct, Ottawa number 45. We'll go back 20 yards, it'll be first down.
Jeremiah Green costing his team some valuable real estate.
Good block by Pruneau there. I didn't see Jeremiah Green except stepping over the player that he blocked.
Last week it was Jarrell McCullers who took a number of penalties.
Huge shift in field position.
Yeah, they have to start at their 19. The last possession was the 18. Their best field position start was the 34. Burris has an open man, but I believe he crossed the line of scrimmage.
No question.
So this one's going to come back. Matt Carter, the catch.
2 yards over the line. In fact, I thought Burris was going to run the football there. He had a few options. Changed his mind, but he was well over the line when he let go.
Illegal forward pass. Ottawa number 1. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Starts on the 19-yard line for Ottawa. Take a look when Henry Burris lets go of the football. I think he's past the 20.
Yep. Only run 18 times this year in the first 5 games. Number 4 rusher all-time in the Canadian Football League among quarterbacks. And there's Delahunt out of the backfield, and he is written out. Brandon Smith escorts him into the signage. Big fullback gets 8 back. Seventh catch of the year for the former Canada Knight, John Delahunt.
Play both fullback and tight end. Can also play with Patrick Lavoie in there.
And they have used the fullbacks frequently as receivers so far this year. 13 catches between the two of them. Second down and
blitz coming.
Flags flying, yes. Calgary was sent in the house, and Burris has a smile on his face. Sean Lemon anxious to get his hands on number 1.
Procedure, Ottawa number 64. 5-yard penalty. Timer, please hold the clock till the snap.
There's one of the former Stampeders, Jermichael Dean, called. John Gott, another, the center.
5th penalty already in the game for Ottawa. This drive should have started around the 50, their own 50. Going backwards.
From the 11, 2nd and 18. Stamps only sent 3. Now it's dropped off underneath. And nowhere to go for Walker, who's escorted out by Brandon Smith.
Maybe just enough room to give Ottawa a chance to punt this ball, not have to give up 2 in the safety. Burris has had the time. Just self-destructing with these penalties and going backwards. There's a little no-look dish to Siobhan Walker.
Here's Maher. Good boot. Big one. All the way back inside his 30 for McDaniel. And McDaniel taken down at the 35. Cover is good after a 63-yard punt. That's what... Winnipeg, the only Western rival of Calgary that did not win this week. There's McDaniel or Parker on the sweep. Upended by Jermaine Robinson. Newcomer on the other corner for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, taking the spot of Seth Williams.
Anthony Parker's starting to get more involved in the offense. Only player this year against Toronto. He had a 100-yard game. The only player on the roster tonight with a 100-yard receiving game. Maurice Price has one, but he's not dressed.
8 for Parker. Drew Tate comes in. Double tight end formation. And Mallet, the handoff, has the first down.
It's hit by Pruneau. I've been watching Antoine Pruneau. That was Eddie Elder. Eddie Elder stepping up. Number 5, not number 6. But I'm watching Pruneau a little bit in this game because he replaces TJ Hill. And TJ Hill, I asked Coach Campbell about Hill and just what happened there. He said he's been nothing but a great pro, and he wishes him the best in the future, but he wants to go with some young guys, give him a chance to play, and Antoine Pruneau's one of them.
Eddie Elder, another. McDaniel gets slips down. What a hit that is. And there's the newcomer, Jermaine Robinson. And he makes an instant impression.
Wow, playing for Seth Williams. And again, this is Rick Campbell kind of still messing with his roster a little bit, still trying to find the right combination. And Jermaine Robinson comes out, shot out of a cannon to make this play.
6'3", 205. We saw him in mid-June, first preseason game in Saskatchewan. Played the preseason, but had to wait his turn, and he is the last of the young Lions in the secondary for Ottawa to get a first start. Looks like he's intent on making the most of it. McDaniel making his way slowly to the sidelines.
And nothing wrong with Seth Williams. He's fine, and team's not giving up on Williams on that as a possible player that'll help him down the road. But they want to take a look at Jermaine Robinson. Rick Campbell said, this is just, we're still trying to find the combination with our roster. It's a young team trying to find what works well, and Jermaine Robinson, wow.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Hit screen, and Sinopoli wrestled down at the yard line, and
here he comes.
All over the field.
Woo! He's coming again.
Put me in, coach.
Give me an opportunity to play the game, and let me show you how fast I will play it. Rick Campbell said, you got to play these downs fast. He's wide side corner, and he gets to the middle of the field before linebackers got there. Woo!
Well, that was the Robinson series.
Robinson 2-0.
Neighbors boot. Jamil Smith, that's going to be 15-yard, no yards penalty against Calgary, and this time on a punt. Ottawa's actually going to enhance its field position as Markway McDaniel collects himself on the sidelines. Well, that has been one issue for Ottawa. They've got a good veteran core.
No yards. Calgary number 24. 15-yard penalty, first down, and we'll have one more play in the first quarter.
Keenan McDougall was charged. They've got a good Canadian core. They've got veterans, and some people were looking for some new names to bolster that lineup, and a guy like Robinson looks like he wants to be one of them.
Well, but when you're in Game 6, Chris, and you're still juggling your roster players to find out what the combination that will work best is, that's a very different scenario than any other team in the league. Every other team has their starters, and they only switch them up due to injury.
So they start at the 34. Final play, first quarter, barring a penalty. A fake to Walker, and inside it goes, and it's another drop for Wallace Miles. So a sputtering start for the REDBLACKS on offense, and they trail by a touchdown after the opening quarter at McMahon.
Calgary defense, but 45 yards and penalties for the REDBLACKS, most of those on offense. They were going backwards on the one series, and I've seen 3 or 4 drops by receivers already in that first quarter. So stopping themselves right now, they need to get some first downs.
Couple by Wallace Miles, and because of that, they're still looking to get a little traction here at McMahon. It'll be 2nd and 10 as we start quarter number 2 for the REDBLACKS at their 34-yard line. Calgary with a 3-man front. And here they come. And they get home.
They made it 4-man in a hurry, and I think it actually got to 5-man before it was over. You're right. They lined up with a 3-man front, and then sent Lynn J. Shell. He kind of was hanging back. You're not even going to see him in the picture yet. Go ahead and run it. That's the 3-man front. And now stop it there. There's number 4 added in. Here comes number 5, Keon Raymond. So 3-man front turns into a 5-man in a hurry and collapses the pocket.
First sack of the year for Lynn J. Shell. And the 15th for Calgary, team that led in the sack department last year. First punt into the wind is not a good one for Maher, and even worse, it bounced out of bounds at the Calgary bench, so that's an illegal punt. So a 27-yarder, and the penalty will be tacked on.
Not sure why Maher, unless he was looking to possibly fake that, would try and make a difficult kick by doing it on the run.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 17, so you're probably not taking off. Don Janowski, the special team coach, goes over to have a word of Janowski, the former member of the Calgary staff, like Mike Gibson and Rick Campbell. And a tough stretch for Maher after going 0 for 4 in field goals last week. So a great field position start for Calgary. 4 receivers to the far side. They look back this way. Mitchell in trouble and throws it up for grabs and almost intercepted. Well, there's Robinson again.
Yeah, again, he couldn't believe it. But he had a gift there, didn't hang on. They're trying to set up the screen here to Martel Mallet. That's covered down nicely. So Bo Levi Mitchell now has to make it up as he goes along here. Tries to get it out of bounds on the throwaway and almost throws it right to Jermaine Robinson. Is that 3 straight plays that we've talked about? 32?
It is. So it's 2nd and 10. Mitchell stands in, delivers, complete. Big hit by Pinot. But it is a first down for Calgary.
Boy, Bo Levi Mitchell, he knifes this in.
Catch made by Jabari Arthur. That's his first catch of the year.
He's going to end up running that crossing route, and Bo Levi has to throw off his back foot here. He gets leaning backwards a little bit, but he still knifes it in on this nice dig route right in front of the safety.
Now direct snap, Jock Sanders has some blocking and has another Calgary first down.
Well, he just
little change of pace.
Yeah, he hides in behind his blockers. It's tough for guys to find him. He gets in behind that offensive line. Direct snap. Jock Sanders had the big return already. Starts out in the backfield, and then Bo Levi Mitchell he plays actor there, like he's rolling to the opposite direction, trying to influence the defensive back in some way.
Rob Cote out in front along with Vader Kyle. 12 for Sanders. Bo Levi Mitchell fade into the end zone. Fuller, touchdown. Jeff Fuller's got his 4th touchdown of the year, a 17-yard strike from Bo Levi Mitchell.
Nice protection up front. This time, Bo could put this where he wanted to. The pocket, outside shoulder to Jeff Fuller. He gets in behind Reggie Jones.
4 plays, 44 yards, 2nd touchdown of the game for Calgary. The first set up by a long punt return, the 2nd set up by a short punt.
That's what I'm meant about that offensive line. A line that has given up 5 sacks in 5 games.
Prepared as the extra point. Fuller celebrates on the sidelines as Calgary opens up a 14-point lead. Moving in for the 4th time in the end zone.
Many have talked about the Saskatchewan Rough Rider offensive line as the best in the league. I want to bring these guys into the conversation. Dan Fader-Kyle takes 2. He takes Brandon Lang initially, and then watch the route. Right now, you got an open gate there by Reggie Jones. You got to get squared to the line of scrimmage as a DB. You get jumping around like that, you're in big trouble. Receiver can run by you, but I'm going to make an argument that the Calgary Stampeder O-line needs to be in the conversation of best in the league.
Well, they're the 2nd best rush team and the best at protecting the quarterback so far. There's a return for Javale Smith up around the 35-yard line, a 29-yard return. Ottawa's got to get something going on offense.
See Fader-Kyle take 2 there. That's not a blitzing linebacker. That's 2 defensive linemen. Gave Mitchell lots of time. Now, Henry Burris has had time to throw as well.
Objectionable conduct. Ottawa number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down.
They just keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Jamel Smith walks them back 10 with the objectionable conduct penalty. And one of the things the coach has been really focused on, and Smith is upset. Saw one last night I didn't like where a player just dropped the football after he made a play, and if the drop ball touches an opposing player, they call it, and I'm not sure if that's what Smith was upset about. Carlton Mitchell, a catch for Ottawa. Let's take another look.
It feels like to me that Ottawa has put themselves in a hole with penalties every single time. I mean, he's just trash talking, and do your job, get to the sideline, and regroup for the next play. It's an emotional game. You got to control those emotions.
Second and short. And up to Walker. He's met up. And he's got it. Keon Raymond, or John Wall, excuse me, slams the door. Ran into the wall.
Yeah, he'd come down from the secondary, and he steps into this one nicely.
Well, they're going to give him forward progress, and the chains are moving, but that was a hard-fought yard.
It's a wrestling match for a yard. Comes in from that halfback spot. That's usually where Raymond lines up. That's why I thought it was 25, but did get forward progress because Wall drove Walker back about 3 or 4.
So up to the 34, first down. And a direct snap. And a Walker run up over the 40-yard line. Get it in his hands any way they can. Siobhan Walker, their most dangerous weapon, third in the league in yards from scrimmage.
He's patient on this one. Talked to John Gott before the game about blocking for Siobhan Walker. He said, yeah, it's a lot like blocking for John Cornish, which he did last year. He said that you just need to give him a little sliver and he'll hit it.
Second and short. They hunker down, and Burris will plunge for the first down up to the 45.
Boy, he's been productive. He's been productive in a lot of different ways, Walker. To be out of the backfield, running the football, of course, but he plays on the teams as well. So there you go, yards from scrimmage, kickoff return yards. Leads in all those categories. Only a CFL player to do it.
REDBLACKS signing him to a 2-year extension last week. A few other players in the same boat, including a guy up front that's blocking for him, Michael Dean. First down, Burris steps up, and he hits the deck at the 50 underneath what would have been a tough hit, and they'll give him 5 yards.
Is that Brandon Smith coming over the top?
Guy tied for second in tackles coming into the game, Brandon Smith, from his defensive halfback position. Out of the reach of Corey Mace, and decent spot. Mace at 2nd and 5.
Had a couple of rushes past Russ Jackson last week. His 21 yards rushing last week against Saskatchewan.
Here come the Stamps. They screen it off. And Marcus Henry has a first down into Calgary territory. 9 for Henry. First time they've been in the Stampeders side of the field so far in this first half.
A little receiver screen to him, and looked like this play had potential for big yards. It was Keon Raymond who jumped into the play and tripped him up, or else that would
Timeout, Ottawa.
The Blacks have something going, but they want to make sure they've got the right formation on the field. Former Stampeder receiver Travis Moore is there. Former Stampeder quarterback Marcus Crandall is there.
Marcus Crandall, sunglasses, well, they both do. Sunny side of the field over there.
Cup winner with Calgary as their quarterback. And in the day that Alan Pitts was shagging a lot of passes from Doug Flutie. Travis Moore was busy as well. Henry Burris is dropped. First contact was made by Freddie Bishop, and he got enough of Henry Burris to chop down the tree.
Yeah, gets upfield here on Nolan McMillan, and it's too much, too quick, too fast, and too big. Just straight up the field, and Burris's drop goes right into the arms of Freddie Bishop. 10-yard loss for the Red Blacks.
So Bishop has his second sack. Talked to Devon Claybrook before the game, the D-line coach, who said, we're on the same pace as last year, but we've fallen behind in the sack race. Second and long, Burris, the gun, up for grabs, and it's intercepted. And Jamar Wall has it. First interception of the season for Wall, a takeaway for the Calgary defense. Fourth interception tossed by Henry Burris on the season. First of the year for Jamar Wall.
Yeah, Henry Burris gets the interception. I'm going to put this a little bit on Dobson Collins as well. He runs this go route. Now hold it here. He needs to come back hard to this football inside, not float away from it. Watch how he floats away and lets Jamar Wall step underneath it. If he goes harder to that football, there may be a collision. Very worst, it's incomplete.
Mitchell over the middle. Pass is caught. McDaniel there, so Markway McDaniel back in, Antoine Pruneau on the scene. It's really the first time we'd seen Ottawa with getting their offense going. They had 8 plays, 3 first downs, but Wall snuffs the drive and gives the ball back to Calgary's offense. So 6 for Markway McDaniel, 2nd and 4. A flag comes down, and did the center, he moved that football.
Tried to do that restart where quarterback.
Illegal procedure, Calgary number 50. Remains second down.
Well, Spencer Wilson, the right guard, apparently moved.
It's that restart where Bo Levi Mitchell was trying to get the receivers to attack the line. He calls the cadence, and then he pauses, stops. They regroup back up. He just wants to see if the defense will declare, and the offensive linemen, they shifted in the process. I think Stanley Bryant moved as well.
Over the middle, McDaniel again. And McDaniel's got a first down. The veteran has 4 catches in this first half. And the Stamps back in Ottawa territory.
It's an area of the field that Mitchell's had a little success in this game tonight. He's like the linebackers aren't quite getting enough depth to help out the safety here in Eric Fraser. He's going to bail out. He's got deep routes, so he can't jump it too shallow like this intermediate. You see the linebackers underneath, they're just a little bit shallow, basically covering grass. And there's a gap in between. That's about the 3rd completion for Mitchell in that area.
Daniel leading the Stampeders in second down conversion catches. And that's his 9th, and now a timeout called by Calgary.
Timeout, Calgary.
So Dave Dickinson didn't like something he saw.
Tell you what, quarterbacks playing for Calgary, they got a shot with the coaches that they're working with, and Dave Dickinson and John Huffnagel, as he played the position, the highest of levels, guys who have coached it. Drew Tate, Bo Levi Mitchell, young players, but learning from the best.
And still learning. Not clicking on all cylinders was the review after the last game. It's a catch by Parker, and he got away. That's a nifty move by Anthony Parker in what looks like it's his breakout season.
Yeah, I really think that they're starting to trust him. And they trust him, that means the plays will be designed to go to him. He was the primary on this play. It was play action, and Bo Levi Mitchell dumps it to the flat. Number 1 receiver in the progression, picks it up, makes a nice move. You start making people miss like that, you get the ball a lot more.
Fourth year for Parker. He had the 100-yard game against Toronto, a fumble last week. And now Sanders, they rally to the football and bring him down for a loss.
Mentioned Travis Brown, how high that Rick Campbell is. He makes a nice play here, and you're in game 6 now. You're getting close to your college sort of season. 7, 8 games, and then you start to settle in. You should be understanding the game by now and the defense that you're running. So this is where Travis Brown is no longer a rookie. He's got to step up. Midnight play there.
REDBLACKS high on him. Compare him to E.J. Gass, former Eskimo middle linebacker. A lot of steamboats for Bo Levi Mitchell, and he one-hopped the pass. Did McDaniel catch it? Like that ball skipped short, but they're ruling it is a catch.
3-man pressure. So Mitchell is patient because he can be. He's just standing there back having a coffee, and then, oh yeah, what a catch. What a catch.
16 for 16, and McDaniel
in behind him, just off the turf.
Has his 5th grab of this first half. So the Stamps are moving the football. First down at the REDBLACKS 17. Back in the hands of Mallet, straight ahead. And Hammers down for 5. 4 or 5.
It's like right now, Calgary platooning the 2 backs. Doug Sanders getting some reps back there, and then it's Mallet's turn. Different styles completely. Mallet, the big downhill runner. Chris, of course, Jock is going to dance around a little bit more.
And they've got production, even without John Cornish and Matt Walter,
who are getting closer. We understand.
Starting to work out and be back in the meetings. Here, Bo Levi Mitchell calls his own number. Flag! Touchdown! Let's find out if it stands. Looks like it's coming back. What would have been Mitchell's 2nd touchdown run of the half.
Holding. Calgary number 66. 10-yard pass. 2nd down.
That's the all-star left tackle, Stanley Bryant. So they'll back the Stampeders up as the benches get the 3-minute warning here.
Well, there's holding penalties and then tackles. Stanley Bryant gets a tackle here on Jonathan Williams. Williams is going to try and run a stunt here, and watch how Stanley Bryant just basically takes him down. Tries to run that inside stunt, grabs him, tackles him, holding.
Stampeders the best team in the red zone this season. 10 for 13 into this series. Pressure into the end zone. Open. Touchdown. McDaniel.
Mitchell paid the price. But he'll take it.
3rd touchdown of the year, 2nd in as many weeks for Marquay McDaniel, who's had a big first half.
Well, this is composure from Bo Levi Mitchell. He's going to get hit right in the chops here. Hangs on for the last second to let McDaniel open up. Gives it enough air so that McDaniel can regroup, get underneath it. The go-to guy.
8 plays, 60 yards, and a 22-yard touchdown strike from Mitchell to McDaniel. A 3-touchdown Calgary lead first half. Touchdown here in the first half.
This is a great O-line that's going to give him time, but watch how much time they give him. McDaniel's going to go 2 gears here. That takes some time. Now he weaves over the middle. That takes some more time. Goes to the post, stems it straight up again. Now he's coming back down Main Street. He's got Eric Fraser turned around, and to take that much time, Bo had to take a hit. He does. Loves every minute of it.
Gavin's got there a little too late. Jamil Smith on the return. Out beyond the 25-yard line, and that touchdown came after the interception by Jamar Wall. So 7 off a turnover for the Calgary Stampeders.
So Bo waiting for that route to develop. 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, 3 steamboats, 4 steamboat, 5. Took a hit. Sees the reaction. Yeah, baby. They're all day. You don't feel them when they're successful like that. I mean, until later tonight. You put ice bags on, but in the game, you don't feel them when they work.
10th touchdown of the year for Mitchell, and now Burris got to get something going. Wide side, and the catch made by Dobson Collins at the 31. So pick up a 4.
Well, it feels a little bit like last week for Ottawa. Against Saskatchewan, it was a first quarter 20-point deficit plus. This is a first half deficit, but you're right. They're going to have to start taking some chances and taking some shots.
13 points by the Rough Riders off turnovers. And Burris, or the REDBLACKS, excuse me. It was the Rough Riders with 13 points off turnovers last week against the REDBLACKS.
Right.
And now 7 tonight. Five 2-and-outs in this first half for Rick Campbell's crew.
And where it gets tough, your defense just gave up a touchdown. Now they're trying to regroup on the sideline. They only get about 60 seconds to do that, and they're going to be back on the field again.
Maher's last punt was a problem. This one isn't. But Jock Sanders has been a problem. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. So just over 2 minutes left, and then we'll check in with the guys back in the studio.
Hey, I'm telling Matt Dunnigan again that I am watching Charleston Hughes. He's actually getting blocked up quite nicely so far in this game, but you know that won't last forever. We'll check on him again in the second half.
Stamp started their 40. And the pass this time off the fingertips of McDaniel.
Well, I like this Jermaine Robinson. He was there in a heartbeat again. And when Levi Mitchell tries to hit that side, that wide side of the field, and he's trying to work that space, Jermaine Robinson's closing it. It's been really the highlight for the REDBLACKS in this first half.
No question.
He just, watch how quickly that wide side corner sees it and reacts, and he's beating everybody to these hits.
Up at the top of your screen, working against Joe West, and it's like a procedure against the Stampeders.
Against the receiving core.
Fuller did a little break dance trying to stay
procedure.
onside.
Calgary number 65, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
They still call it that? They still call it breakdancing?
Well,
so I think they're still breakdancing.
I'm out of date, so.
Timer, please put 2 minutes on the clock.
A moonwalk? Was there a moonwalk in there?
Yeah, it's our era, unfortunately.
Well, this is how you want to bounce back. You're at home, you're Calgary Stampeders, coming off a loss at home to the BC Lions. Get out to a good start. What John Hufnagel drew up.
2nd and 15. Mitchell stands in, delivers high, intercepted. Jasper Simmons has his second interception of the season, and he's still going. And dropped down at the 26-yard line. Well, he clinched the win for the REDBLACKS against Toronto with an interception. And he gets one here against Bo Levi Mitchell, who has thrown interceptions in consecutive weeks after none in 142 attempts.
Yeah, that was only his first one last week. This is number 2. That last one last week went for a touchdown against the BC Lions. This one they rally to make the tackle. High throw, and that one's on Bo Levi Mitchell. Tipped up by his receiver, Marquay McDaniel, and chance for the REDBLACKS.
Trying to put points off turnover here. And looking down into the end zone and overshoots the intended target, Carlton Mitchell.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Chris, as Henry Burris came on the field, that the REDBLACKS do not have to go for the end zone.
I love my baby Ryan. I love my son. I love y'all.
They don't have to go for the end zone on these plays. Now, there's a flag down in there. They may get a break here and put it down on the one anyway. But at minute 40, you can run your offense.
Pass interference. Calgary number 25. Spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Well, the veteran Keon Raymond called for pass interference, and he's going to get a flag for disputing the call. Let's have another look here because John Hufnagel.
Objectionable conduct. Calgary number 25. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
John Hufnagel could challenge if he agreed with his defensive back. I'm not sure. No challenge from the Calgary sideline. First and goal. Walker, touchdown. Siobhan Walker's got his 4th major of the season. And the Red Blacks are on the board here in the late stages of the first half.
Like Burris had to go down on that shotgun snap just to hang on. It looked like he was low and hot to get it to Walker. Reacts, goes down, picks it up, and is able to make the exchange smoothly.
So Calgary gets 7 off an interception, and now Ottawa does the same with the extra point from Maher. 21-7 with the minute 36 remaining here in the opening half.
Bo Levi Mitchell has been working that middle of the field and had success with it, so I'm not surprised at all that they keep the pedal to the metal and try and go back to it. So this time it's Marquay McDaniel's going to work down the field. You see how he sits in the hole there. The ball just thrown high, or else he picks up good yardage. They can go down and get more points before the half. Jasper Simmons, who gets better every game, makes that play and turns into 7 points for him. Pass interference call aided. Obviously that drive to get him down to the 1 yard line.
And Simmons with a souvenir for his new daughter arrived this week, and Jasper Simmons went down to Florida to be there for the birth. Back up to make a big play here in the first half for the Red Blacks. The squib kick, bouncing down. Anthony Parker on the return, gets outside. Maher to beat him, and he'll bump him out, but there's another big Calgary return. They did not have a big play punt return or kick return coming into this game. They have one of each in this first half, a 44-yard return.
I asked John Hufnagel about that. Last week, there was lowest average start field position of the season at 26 yards, their own 26. I asked Coach Hufnagel why. He said, well, it was a little bit of a combination of both the BC Lions playing on special teams well, and also we kind of were our own worst enemies sometime with penalties. They're getting that field position start now.
Ottawa's now allowed 6 big kick returns on the season. Sanders is bumped out of bounds.
Well, that return gives Mitchell a chance to get that 7 back for the high.
5 for Sanders. A big kick return is a punt return of over 30 yards, or a kickoff return or missed field goal return of over 40. And Calgary has 2 in this game. Sanders supplying 1 with a 51-yard punt return.
45.
And with Martel Mallet gone to the dressing room for repairs, Sanders is now the man in the backfield full time and has a catch for a first down.
Well, they've had to go through some running backs. John Cornish, of course, hurt in that first game against Montreal. Then Walter after that went to Martel Mallet. Jock Sanders was in the mix before Mallet arrived and was inserted into the lineup.
Different kind of back than Mallet. Short drop. Only by Mitchell. Marquay McDaniel once again. He'll stop the clock at the 17-yard line as he beats Jarrell Gavins and picks up 23 yards more. And so he's at 95 here in the first half.
Wow, almost 100, and there's still time to get there. Nice low center of gravity here, puts that hand down. That's the drill you do when you're in minor football. Running with the ball under one arm and put the hand down and then switch it over, put the other hand down. You do that drill, kids, because in a game, you catch that out like that, put the hand down, keep your balance, pick up nice yards after the catch.
Here comes pressure. Mitchell to the end zone and incomplete. Fuller can't hang on. Robinson in the vicinity.
He's had a good first half. What a bright spot. There's Fuller sitting right on the goal line, just waiting on him is Jermaine Robinson. The 5-yard line, just hanging out there saying, you go ahead, I know where you're going to make your break, and then I'll go from there. Nice play.
Boy, the cut up for Jermaine Robinson's going to be a good one this week. Been involved a lot. 2nd and 10. Shorter drop. Jabari Arthur, no. Is it a touchdown? Yes. The REDBLACKS were trying to wave it off, but Arthur's got it.
A couple of REDBLACKS were trying to wave it off, and it will be reviewed regardless. So Mission Control will take a look at this one.
I'd have to have another look.
Yeah, a couple of angles here. It's that close.
Looks like he does a nice job of securing the football. One more look.
Question is, does he use the ground to do it?
Well,
I don't think he does.
Underneath
like,
the football, yeah.
Absolutely. Hands and arm underneath it.
Couple of catches for Arthur.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Half, but they will take a long look at this to get confirmation.
Well, let's take a look at that one again. As that football comes in there, does the tip of it hit the ground? I don't think it does. Well, that's a tight one. That's close.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah,
Touchdown.
I agree. I got the arm underneath, got the hand underneath.
Great catch. First touchdown of the year for Arthur.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks for that.
And 3 touchdown passes for Mitchell in this first half.
Got that 7 back.
Yeah, that was a quick response.
Hey. Happy birthday, Aaliyah. Last year was Natty, this year is you.
Somebody got a birthday present.
Amari's first game, you see his daddy play. Shout it out.
5 plays, 51 yards on the drive after the big kick return.
Quarterback's going to throw interceptions. It happens. And it's what you do in the next series that matters most. After the return and the great field position by Parker, then Bo Levi went back to work. He let go of the interception, just got rid of it. A couple of nice, precise passes. Good play by his receiver, Marquay McDaniel there. This one a little bit low, but again, his receiver comes up big for him, and Jabari Arthur's got his first on the year.
Team that had averaged only 20 points over the last 3 weeks puts up 28 in the first half here tonight.
There's a lot to like about this young quarterback in Calgary.
Now Calgary squibs it. See if Ottawa can come up with a response. Nothing doing. As it was mishandled by DJ Harper. So final minute. Flag down on the play.
Major foul, unnecessary roughing. Calgary number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I think there's been a lot of those for the Calgary Stampeders, but there have been a few for Ottawa in this first half, and that's something I think certainly Rick Campbell's going to have to talk to his team about. Those are controllable penalties that happen after the whistle, objectionable conduct, things like that. You can control those.
Calgary doesn't list a number 15. Otherwise, we'd tell you who committed the foul.
That's a penalty. Hey, John.
Burris a pump, but in trouble, and down he goes. Micah Johnson has the sack. Third sack of this first half for Devon Claybrook's crew. Told us they have a D-line night, but they also have a D-line breakfast where he fixes the big boys' breakfast, and he must have fed them well this week. 2nd and 15. And Walker bounces it back outside.
Yeah, those guys up front, Chris, starting to dine on Henry Burris right now in this first half. Claybrooks told us that he'll make them the old-fashioned breakfast from scratch.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, and they get in there and they settle into the table, and no one's getting up and leaving that table early, I guarantee you. And he had an interesting, in the second half, we'll get into it, but let's tease it a little bit because he had an interesting way to kind of poke Charleston Hughes. As well as he's been playing, he's had a sack in every game. Interesting way to poke him. Get that in the second half.
Pretty impressive. Stampeders against their own quarterback in the opening half on Family Day at McMahon, 28-7. As we check back in with Rod Smith and Paul Lapolis.
With the GMC Coaches Playbook, thank you, Chris Cuthbert. And there's so many different aspects we could talk about when it comes to the dominance of the Calgary Stampeders over the Ottawa Redblacks. Coach, here would like to talk about the pass rush and the way you have to protect yourself against it.
Yeah, you know, I spent all day doing some research in my hotel room, doing protection. So let's talk protections. That's pretty a sad thing from a coach talking about spending the day in the hotel.
You live quite the life.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this. You know, you got a 3-man rush from Calgary here. Okay, that's called the 3-4 defense. You're going to see the 4 linebackers at depth. What you like, you can bring guys from all different spots here. Let's see how you should protect this as you go forward. Okay, the offensive lineman, when you make the protection call, you know whether the back's with you. The right guard and right tackle know the back's with them, so they don't have to take the overhang or the extra play of the strong side linebacker. They know we have the 2 people right over us, the end and the backer. The center's big on big. He's going to handle that player right there. Now, the backside 2 guys, they have 3 threats. So they have to take a combination of those 2 that come. Watch the inside player as he drops out. That's an easy indicator for the left guard and left tackle. We have to handle these 2 players. You can handle it in a number of different ways. You can zone it or you can man it. It appears on this tape that Ottawa was going to man it, so the left guard should pop out and take this player. He gets caught up inside, creates an opportunity for them to get a free hit on Henry. But, you know, Calgary just does such a great job rushing the quarterback and stopping. They're just a tremendous defensive front.
Coach, this is why you will always know so much more about the game than me, because I'm, today weeding the garden. Protecting the ferns from the morning glories. And then you're in your hotel room going over protection.
Yeah, you research protections, man.
Awesome stuff. Coach's Playbook, brought to you by GMC. When we come back, Paul and the rest of the panel, a little coin toss time, including a little debate on the Ottawa Redblacks. Did you expect them to be better than they are? Not very good right now at the half. Losing big time to the Stampeders. We'll be back in the CFL on TSN. We are at the half in Calgary. Stampeders looking good right now, wearing red and black against the Ottawa Redblacks and leading it 28-7. We'll be back.
The home team. You know, Glenn Suter talked about it, and it's how you respond. This young quarterback in his 9th start has responded extremely well in the first half.
4 different players scoring touchdowns for the Stamps, including Marquay McDaniel. Here he is with Jermaine Franklin.
First half for you, 7 catches, 95 yards plus a TD. What was the difference for you in that first half?
Just making the plays that's coming to me, finding the holes that the defense have given us, and both doing a good job finding me in those zones.
Your offense had a great answer to Ottawa's touchdown. How important is it for you to stick and stay on the gas in the second half as well?
Oh, it's definitely important. We're down 3 scores in CFL. The game can change just like that. So 3 scores, we want to score. But we got 28. We want 28 more in the second half.
Thanks for this.
No problem.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Boy, what a story Rory McIlroy has been in golf, and the Calgary Stampeders on fire today at home against the Redblacks. 28-7. Second half kickoff coming up.
28-7 Stampeders. Jermaine Franklin standing by with Henry Burris.
Hank, your offense was limited to just 89 total yards. How do you change that in the second half?
Well, we got to make plays. We've had too many opportunities to make plays out there. The plays are there. It's not the play calls. Us as players, we got to execute the offense. It's like everybody taking their opportunity not to do what they're coached to do as far as on plays, and that's what's been shooting us in the foot. And if we go out there and just execute every play, we can change this game around.
How important is discipline? On more than one occasion, you guys started behind the 8 ball because of penalties to start drives.
It's the reason why we're down right now, and it's clearly visible. We've seen opportunities to make plays in every aspect as far as receivers, offensive line making the blocks. I made a couple of bad reads, and then, of course, when we're running, we got to give Chevy holes. But the opportunities are there. I mean, we understand everything they're doing. They're a great team and all that. But when opportunities are there, we got to cash in and score points and move the ball and give ourselves an opportunity to score points.
Thanks for this, Henry.
Thank you.
A lot of mistakes for Rick Campbell's team in the first half, and Calgary made them pay for just about all of them.
Couldn't agree more. It's not the play calling.
Maher's kickoff. And Anthony Parker on the return. Another good Parker return. Sliced down just beyond the 35-yard line by Eddie Elder. 32 yards on that kick return. What a bounce back half for Bo Levi Mitchell after his first CFL loss a week ago.
Well, he is a big bounce back first half for him. They had 233 yards of total offense. You can see Bo's on pace for just shy of 400 passing. And I love the comeback when he threw the pick, a little high throw to Marquay McDaniel, came back the very next series and drove the team for a major.
Jock Sanders again, the running back. Martel Mallet will check to see if he sees any action after going to the dressing room in the second quarter.
Our audio girl down there got, all right, she got the thumbs up.
Good stuff.
Linebacker material down there.
Sounded great. I'm sure it didn't feel too good.
No.
So just a yard for Sanders, 2nd and 9, and time count violation against Calgary.
Put him back 5, 2nd down again. That's one coach doesn't like.
He'll write that one up.
Let's listen to that hit. Through the parabolic, it bounced right back up.
We got a lot of folks on the crew that wouldn't have bounced up as quick.
Oh, and I'm one of them. Right to the IR after that.
2nd and 14 over the middle. The catch is made. There's Parker with another grab and a first down, 17 for Anthony Parker.
And confidence is it's this magical thing you're trying to find as a player at every level, whether you're coming into high school or you're going into the college level or pro level. For some it happens immediately, for some it takes a couple of years, for some a couple of games, but wow, is he playing different. Anthony Parker's playing like a different player than I've seen in his entire 4-year career now.
And it's Rob Cote, the fullback, gets a run and a first down. His first rush of the year. And without John Cornish and Nick Lewis and Randy Chevrier, he's the senior man in the Calgary Stampeders lineup, playing in his 117th game.
One of a handful of guys that remembers the 2008 championship season. There's a few. This Calgary Stampeders, good, well-coached football team, is going to be in the fight in the West here the whole way. You know that. Gone through a lot of injuries and kept winning. They'll be judged on the postseason.
Simmons the tackle, but an 11-yard run. Sanders back in, play action fake to him. They're going to go deep. Joe West, downfield, incomplete. Brandon Thompson got back. Not sure whether he broke it up or not, but he arrived on the scene at the same time as the football.
Yeah, he's down here at wide side, right on the numbers, and just runs a nice little fade route. It's a zone defense, so you got an outside third player that's the halfback inside. Was that Jarrell Gavins? No, that was Brandon Thompson.
So it's 2nd and 10. Mitchell underneath, and McDaniel makes another catch. Just 4 on the grab for Marquay McDaniel. Now to 99 yards. We checked his best game in the CFL. Well, he's had a 9-catch game, and he's had 123 yards in a game. Could be an all-time game for Markway McDaniel here.
Well, the other stat I love that we keep now is those first down catches, the clutch catches on second down to move the chains. He had 8 of his 15 coming in. I know he's got a few tonight.
And early in the third quarter, 8 catches with 9, a career high. Rob Maver looking for the corner. Does he find it? That's a good boot that will sail out inside the 10-yard line for Rob Maver. Markway McDaniel has a touchdown in this game. He has 8 catches, 99 yards, helping pace this Stampeder offense. Did you hear the former Birmingham Barracuda, Matt Dunnigan? He's for insurance.
You afraid of sharks?
Yeah, he doesn't want any part of Shark Week.
You go in the cage?
You're in, though.
Cage goes in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark.
A play action fake, dumped off, and Wallace Miles is away. Had a couple of drops in the first half. That's his biggest play of the game. And a first down to give the REDBLACKS a little breathing room. 19 for Miles.
Well, Henry Burris said it. He said it at the interview there with Jermaine Franklin. He said, it's not the play calling. We've had opportunities. He gets the edge here. Charleston Hughes comes down on Siobhan Walker, and he should respect that. He's got to respect that. Gets outside, nice throw. They just have to execute consistently.
First and 10. Fakes one way, looks the other. Anybody open? Now back this way, and a connection to John Delahunt. Threw a fastball in front of Buddy Jackson, the boundary corner who has returned for Calgary after missing a couple of weeks.
Good catch by Matt Carter there just to keep his feet in bounds too, because you're right, that was a fastball. Stuck it right on him when he got out here, and he had to keep his feet in bounds, at least one. And he picks up 5 yards and hangs on. It was almost self-defense.
So 5 for Carter, 2nd and 5. Help him to block, and downfield it goes, and that's easy pickings for Josh Bell. The Calgary safety with it down around the 20, and he'll be cut down by Henry Burris. Another interception for that Calgary secondary. Interception thrown by Henry Burris.
Josh Bell just stays at safety, plays it perfectly. Watch his patience back here. He barely moved. Just going to backpedal into the middle, stay in the middle, be patient. The play will come to you. Be patient, and Henry throws it right to him.
So what you're saying is if you're a safety and you just drop deep and stand there, you might pick off 51 in a career?
That's how you get 51. Just stand there.
Here's a dumped off for Sanders, and he's down inside the 5.
It's funny you say that, because when I was a rookie in Saskatchewan, playing that same position, Josh Bell plays free safety. Terry Irvin, T.I. said to me, he said, you know what? Just stand in the middle. Just stay in the middle and don't move from there, and you'll get 10. You'll get 10 in the season. I think I had 6 or 7 that year, but that's what you got to do at free safety. Be honest, stay in the middle, help the guys. The game will come to you. Get a chance to make 2 or 3 plays, make them. Josh Bell gets another turnover.
It's a while ago, but Terry Irvin, one of the best ever.
Oh, great corner. Former Stampeder.
Here's Cote, and this time wrapped up. Let's check in with Jermaine Franklin.
Chris, Martel Mallet left the game with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half with a leg injury. He is still in the Stampeders locker room getting treatment. He is listed as doubtful to return.
So it's been a long list, as we mentioned. Cornish, Walter, now Mallet. Here's John Cornish. Hope to see him back in the lineup soon. 2nd and goal. Sanders stays in to block. Open man, stretching out, and Parker couldn't reach it. Right play call.
I've said a few times that this is a harder throw than it looks. Watch Mitchell and the angle he's got here on this push route. It seems like it's an easy short throw, but stop it here. See, he's just got a sliver to look at, so it's tough to get that line up. Dunnigan will tell you that, and I think he was the one who originally told me that that's a more difficult throw than it looks. you don't have a big target to look at. You just have sort of a shadow of his shoulder.
So Paredes puts it through from short range. A field goal here for Calgary and a 31-7 lead. A year ago.
Behind a little bit now, and Mon Claybrooks talked about that. Our coach mentioned how good Calgary is at giving them different looks, different fronts. Sometimes they go with a 30 front, which is 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, as he mentioned. Often can switch that up, send some pressure from the secondary.
3 sacks so far tonight for Calgary, none for Ottawa. Out of the backfield, John Delahunt, a little straight arm. And after the Heisman, up first down as he runs out after a 16-yard pickup.
What Ottawa has been able to do tonight is slow down 39 a little bit. Now they will go away from his side on this little pass to Delahunt, and they have gone away from Charleston Hughes a few times, but we haven't talked much about him tonight because it's been a pretty quiet night so far.
And he has had a sack in each game so far. Here's Walker.
There he goes.
Misdirection, and Charleston Hughes on cue makes the defensive play.
Man, well, he's not going to be quiet for long, and this is a great example of his athleticism. He redirects here a couple times, comes down inside, then he has to bounce out and get in front of Siobhan Walker, who can move. I mean, he's quick, can redirect like anybody's business and nobody's business. And Hughes is off the board so far tonight in the sack department, but hang on.
59 career sacks for 39, who limited that to a 1-yard gain. Burris, Marcus Henry, and Henry gets away and has a first down. Tossed down by Duron Mayo, but Ottawa back in Calgary territory.
I was looking at Charleston Hughes' stats, and those Mon Claybrooks, we ran into his defensive line coach before the game tonight, said that he had an interesting way to try and poke him, get him going. I mean, even the great pros, you want to keep them on edge. And he said, you know what I did? I did a cut-up of John Chick. So I went to got highlights of John Chick, who they're going to go head-to-head as a top rush in all year long. He said, I showed him that tape. Now, I guess they had a bit of a discussion on a couple of new moves, and Claybrooks said Charleston was kind of dragging his feet on learning a new move, kind of teaching that old dog a new trick. And he said, John Chick does that move. And he went, no, he doesn't. He doesn't do that move. Hughes said, oh. And then they went back. He cut up the tape a little bit, showed him some John Chick. He said, there's the move. He goes, oh, okay. Went back to work, back to practice, and worked on that exact move. So just a nice way to poke the veteran. We'll see
if we see the move.
Yeah.
Marcus Henry's catch sets up 2nd and 3. And the zone read for Henry Burris. A little bit younger in Calgary. We saw a lot of that play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here tonight we see it for a first down.
And our guy bid on it. The guy we were just talking about, Charleston Hughes, boy, he took that one.
Well, he's thinking Henry's an old guy. He's not going to try it.
He's not going to do that anymore. I'm going with, no, he does have it. It happens to the best of them.
First down, Ottawa. Calgary 32. Flag comes down. Burris on a sidearm delivery, but he hooks up with Matt Carter. Would be a first down, but again, there's a penalty on the play.
Siobhan Walker got tangled up. I'm not sure if that's the call.
Illegal procedure, no end, Ottawa. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So an alignment issue walks them back 5, 1st and 15.
A positive drive here for the REDBLACKS to start to get some of that execution that Henry Burris was talking about at halftime.
7th play of the drive. Patrick Lavoie ends up setting up as a wideout. Calgary offside. Potential free play, but the ball tipped and falls incomplete. So they'll get the 5 back in all likelihood.
Swap 5-yard penalties back at 1st and 10.
Offside. Calgary number 41. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So the penalty charged against Adam Thibault. If that number is correct, and I'm not sure it is. Let's see 41 on the field. Thibault making his debut tonight on special teams. Here's Burris, he's got a man, and it's a touchdown! Wallace Miles the catch, as Henry Burris and Miles connect for a 32-yard touchdown.
Henry shows that he, may not run as much, but he still has the arm strength. He muscles this one to Miles on the post. The true post pattern, gets 2 tight ends off the backside and fakes like he's going to go to them and comes back over the middle on that post route by Miles and muscles it in there.
First touchdown as a red black for Wallace Miles. Actually, the first touchdown pass for Henry Burris as the red black quarterback. So Burris to Miles for the touchdown to get them a little closer. Touchdown pass at McMahon.
Remember we were talking about how if Josh Bell just stays in the middle as a free safety, he will get an interception or get a ton of them. Watch how he's influenced by the half roll. Now right there, he opens up the wrong direction and opens up the middle.
Well, Anthony Parker did a nice job of auditioning for kick returns. There is a flag on the play, but he's looked good in that capacity tonight. So again, apparently you had a great career just standing there.
just stand in the middle. Well, hey, Wallace Miles gets something positive.
Calgary number 48. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Josh Bell, right after the play, went right to the phone and talked to the coaching staff upstairs and get straightened out there. That pick on Henry Burris where he played patient in the middle was exactly the way you play it. He knows it. He went to the corner route in the half roll to Henry Burris there, got influenced, opened up his hips, didn't stay patient, and on the backside, Wallace Miles beat him on the post. If he stays true in the middle, he probably has his second.
So Calgary has the lead here, late third quarter, but this is a spot where the Red Blacks are looking for a quick stop. Levi Mitchell has other plans, and it's intercepted. There is a flag. Eddie Elder with the pick, but is this going to be a pass interference call? Jeff Fuller was the intended target. Flag at midfield, and is it offensive pass interference?
Pass interference. Ottawa number 32. Point of foul, automatic, first down.
Well, there's the guy we've been talking a lot about, Jermaine Robinson. And this might be one, well, Rick Campbell is tempted to challenge. Let's have a look.
I went back, we looked at that halftime at the Keon Raymond one that was one we were having trouble finding. Now there's a little bit of contact with the hand. I don't see him turn.
Here comes the challenge
Fuller at all, yeah.
Such a big play that it really has to be challenged, you would think, by the Ottawa coach, because Calgary gets 41 yards out of this. Otherwise, it's a turnover in Ottawa football and suddenly a little momentum.
Now this would be a first as far as the PI challenges go, because so far of the challenges
Ottawa
for PI,
is challenging that it was not defensive pass interference. We'll review the play.
Of the challenges so far for defensive pass interference, there's been 3 overturned. All 3 were non-calls that were interference calls that were missed. So they have not yet overturned a call that was made on the field and taken it off. Now there's the 2 principles here. And yes, it looked like Jermaine Robinson may even have grabbed the jersey a little bit, but again, I'm wondering if for it to be interference, the standard is you have to turn the receiver. You have to grab him or twist him and impede his position, impede his path to the football. Doesn't look to me like Jermaine Robinson did that, but he did have his hand on his back. You can see that he's got a little jersey there, but does he turn Fuller or pull him to impede his path to the football?
I was a little surprised John Hufnagel did not challenge the Keon Raymond pass interference down by the goal line in the first half, and
yeah, we didn't have quite as good as looks as we do on that one. I mean, you have to make the judgment here. Does Fuller get impeded to the ball? And had he not been touched there, because you're allowed to hand fight and you're allowed to carry a receiver with your hand on him as a defensive back. As a receiver is allowed to keep at bay a defensive back with his hand.
Another angle of it. Does the body turn slightly because of the pull? I don't think that's pass interference, but there might be enough of a hand there to make the play stand, if you know what I mean.
Well, and the precedent for the challenges on called plays for PI, the precedent has been that
after review, there's insufficient evidence to overturn the call. The call will stand.
I thought that's the way they go.
Yeah,
first down, Calgary.
That's the precedent that they have. That it's going to have to be, something blatant, something that is just not even in question. If it's even close, they will leave it to the judgment of the officials that made the call, that threw the flag. The only ones that have been overturned, as I mentioned, have been the ones that haven't been called, that there's been no flag.
I think he had the challenge. Didn't get the result he was looking for. Over the middle, the crosser to Jeff Fuller. And Fuller has another first down inside the 40. Quiet game against BC, just 2 catches for 10 last week. He has a touchdown tonight and a 17-yard pickup here.
And that'll go down as one blemish for Jermaine Robinson's game tonight, because he's had such a great game on that corner, but he didn't have to grab like that. He could have just run with Fuller on that play and not leave it in the hands of the officials, because he had the safety, Antoine Pruneau, sitting right there for that ball.
First down, direct snap, and a reverse. Parker coming around. And the REDBLACKS not fooled. Antoine Pruneau, part of the tackling party for the REDBLACKS.
We haven't got to it because Calgary has been pretty dominant in this game, but I've been watching this kid, and he's playing well. I mean, he's flying around at the football like Jermaine Robinson, had to redirect there, getting an opportunity to play in TJ Hill's spot, and they've rolled him to safety a couple times. But those have been 2 highlights for the REDBLACKS on defense.
Top DB selected in the Canadian draft, number 4 overall, played some Sam linebacker for Danny Machocha at the University of Montreal. 2nd and 7. Mitchell running out of time, and he is dropped. Sack for Capicotti. Justin Capicotti with his 3rd sack of the season, and the first for the REDBLACKS tonight.
You know why? Antoine Pruneau here. Watch how he plays this. 3 receivers into the boundary. Now he opens up on Marquay McDaniel, and then he picks up the in route right here. That's the play that Bo Levi Mitchell wanted. He couldn't get it there because of a perfect drop by a young linebacker. Capricotti gets the sack because of the coverage behind him.
So Rene Paredes from 46 yards out, the flag flies.
It's an interesting tweet on Rene Paredes.
Procedure, Calgary number 66. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Stanley Bryant called, and that'll take them out of John Hufnagel's comfort zone for a field goal.
Yeah, 10 of 13 coming into this one tonight, and it was a simple one. Just said, another day in Paredes. I like that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
Although it hasn't been paradise beyond the 40 this year. He's 0 for 3, which is a little surprising. Maver looks for the corner. He'll drive it into the end zone, and this is going to be a single point given up. So 32-14. They get one after that big pass interference call that negated an interception. Make yours today. Only by Mitchell's making somebody happy in that fantasy draft, although he is spreading the wealth a lot. So you got Markway McDaniel. You've done well today. REDBLACKS take over at their own 35. Final minute, third quarter. And it's Marcus Henry out of the backfield, bumped out by Buddy Jackson. And that should be a first down. 12 for Henry. And his 6th catch of the game. So up to 27 catches on the season for Henry Burris' favorite target.
It's a tough position for defense. You've got a good lead, and you've had it early on in the game, and you're trying to keep your level of intensity, but it's difficult mentally.
Burris up, ran, and now finds the receiver, and the catch is made by Wallace Miles. Brandon Smith in coverage, but Miles comes up with another catch, and he's got a little bounce in his step after that touchdown grab.
This time Burris will put 3 receivers into the boundary, and it's Miles in that number 2 hole who's just going to run the seam here. Burris buys some time to allow Miles to make that little shake move right there on Brandon Smith and gets him behind him.
4 for 95 now for Miles, who had a tough start but got things going. A couple of big play receptions here in the second half. Miles in motion. Direct snap goes to Walker. Not fooled. Sean Lemon. Junior Turner in to clean up, but Sean Lemon makes the play.
He shot upfield. That's what you got to do at that defensive end spot for those misdirection or direct snaps. He shot upfield, cut it off.
So that was the final play of the third quarter. Ottawa comes up with a touchdown in quarter number 3. They trail by 18 and have the football in Calgary territory when we return to McMahon. For the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
It really was 140 yards offensively in the third quarter versus 66 in the first half. So they did get some things going, and they score here, finish this drive. It's an 11-point game.
To their credit, they only allowed 6 points in the second half against Saskatchewan last week. The defense dug in there. And Henry Burris said there were some plays to be made at halftime with Jermaine Franklin, and they're starting to make a few.
Yeah, they're starting to execute a little bit better. Now, I mentioned that it's tough on a defense when you've got that big lead and you're trying to keep your mental edge, so you get a little softer. Sometimes guys start to play and look for stats. They start to jump things, kind of look for stats, maybe sort of pad that when you're up big time. So they got to get that edge back. Slow some of this late Ottawa momentum.
2nd and 13, the ball on the Calgary 34. And Burris dumps it off. Siobhan Walker. First man misses, and then he's brought down and tries to crawl a couple extra as he's short of the first down by 3. A 10-yard pickup from Burris to Walker. And the field goal team comes on.
Yeah, can't convert, but chip shot range for the field goal team.
Now 3 points here gets you within 15, which is 2 touchdowns away. Just thinking out loud whether Rick Campbell might have something on. After last week when he had a few things in his bag of tricks, but Maher, who went 0 for 4 last week, nails this. And now it is a 15-point lead. Well, there's one of the best-known pupils of Jeff Garcia's clinic. And we talked to Jeff Garcia about Bo Levi Mitchell.
Now in Montreal as a consultant. We caught up with him there.
He's a scrappy grinder type of guy. He's a guy that just wants to work. He wants to battle. He wants to get better every day. He's very serious about his role on that team and wanting to be a great leader. I've really enjoyed seeing his success on the field and how his work has translated into him being the starting quarterback first and foremost, but secondly, winning games and leading that team.
Interesting to hear Jeff Garcia. Bully by Mitchell told us a couple of weeks ago, one of the pieces of advice you saw in that last play is attack the line of scrimmage, pull it down once in a while, and attack. And he took off that time for 5. Alec Garcia.
Yeah.
He attacked the line of scrimmage.
Sounded like a proud dad there, too, didn't he?
Quarterback whisper out of Mark Trestman. Sanders.
Well, you know,
side step for Sanders.
You know, you're right. And there's a lot to like, as I mentioned the first half, about this guy. And he's tied with his teacher, Jeff Garcia, his coach. Those 7 wins out of the gate, that ties the league record. Now 7-1, looking at 8-1 here if they can finish it off. And just to continue that a second, Jeff Garcia is going to help Montreal. I'm not sure if Troy Smith is the answer there, but he will help their stable of quarterbacks in a big, big way.
Here's Parker taking a little swing pass. That's not going very far. There's Kid Robinson again with another tackle. I don't know if Jeff Garcia wants to get hit, but boy, does he look like he can play.
Well, he does, and there's all kinds of debate. There's a lot media people here in Calgary that believe that he's going to end up dressing for Montreal. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, just listening to him in that clip, you could tell he's ready to take, role as a coach full-time if that's what he chooses. He's got a lot of options, but he'll help those quarterbacks over Montreal in a big way, that's for sure.
2nd and 8 for Bo Levi. And over the middle, he's got Marco McDaniel again. 9th catch for McDaniel. He goes over 100. Antoine Pruneau with the tackle, but another first down for the Stamps. 18 for Markway.
Back in 2011 on the scrap heap in Hamilton. Calgary Stampeders pick him up. Kevin Glenn makes him a favorite target, a guy he worked with in Hamilton when Glenn was here in Calgary. Been their most consistent receiver over the last couple of years. I mean, with all due respect to Nick Lewis, who's not dressed again tonight.
Next catch for McDaniel will be a career high. The draw play to Sanders. Look at that little stutter step in. He is dropped at the 39.
Nick Lewis, again, another healthy scratch because of ratio issues and balancing that with John Cornish and Matt Walter out.
Might have to put that in quotes or an asterisk beside healthy scratch because the ankle foot still not 100%.
Yeah,
he has played, but they're trying to get him closer to 100%. And he is making progress and should see him back in the lineup soon. Swung out to Sanders, who's been busy. And does he have enough for a first down? Mark him at the 33, which would be short by a yard. And a decision for John Huffnagel. Does he take the lead beyond 2 touchdowns and 1 2-point convert? Or does he keep the offense on the field?
Well, John Huffnagel's getting right down there at the marker to take a good long look at it.
Looks like the jumbo team's coming in. But Sanders shaken up. And it is Paradise, the field goal team. Sorry, excuse me. So this will be from 40 for Rene Paradise. 11 for 14 on the season. And he puts that through. So they get the lead back up to 18 here. Just over 9 minutes to go. Calgary Stampeder defender, matching a club record set back in the 60s by Frank Andruski.
I'll tell you what, in his last 10 interceptions, 4 of them have gone back to the house. He has a knack for the big, big play. I mean, he is the crown in the crown and cope. I'm telling you, he makes it happen.
A stumble there as Charleston Hughes is going to get credit for the sack, I believe, after Henry Burris got tangled up with his running back, and it is kind of a freebie for Charleston Hughes, and he'll take it.
He'll take it.
Number 6 and number 60 in his distinguished 7-year career.
look. He's coming. Whoops. Slope playing it. And, yeah, a bit of a bust in the back end there for the backfield.
2nd and 11. Flag down. Looked like Calgary might have been offside. Another catch for Henry. He'll be stopped short of the first down. So likely they'll reset and take the penalty.
Yeah, I don't know that I didn't see an offensive line flinch, but there was early movement from the Calgary front. So one in every game. It's going to be quite a race between he and John Chick, who is out of the gate in a big way.
95. Offside. Calgary number 95. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Freddie Bishop. 13 penalties for Calgary. That will be an issue, as you can tell by that.
Yeah, and it's an issue for every team. And they've got to start. Players got to start taking accountability here and start cutting those out, because when the games become more important the other side of Labor Day, that'll hurt you in a big way.
Down at 6 and nothing doing inside. There's Sean Lemon with the stuff on Siobhan Walker.
Keon Raymond, though, making those big plays and how he has a knack for it. You go back to 2011. He holds the record for the Calgary Stampeders. This was a 117-yarder for a touchdown back in 11. And then against Henry Burris, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, another 100-yarder in 2012 for Keon Raymond. 63-yarder last week.
Well, we've got the DeMarco formation here. 3rd down, throwing and overthrowing. The intended target, DJ Harper in the flat. We've seen a few things from Rick Campbell out of punt formation. This one doesn't work. Keon Raymond in the defense with a turnover on downs. Rick Campbell's team, the 2nd least turnovers going into the game. This is kind of a desperation play that doesn't work.
Yeah, they had Marcus Henry open in the middle. Go ahead, run it, guys. And I'm going to show you when he opens up. It's a little easier to throw for Thomas DeMarco. Stop it right there. There's Henry right there. I would suggest that that's an easier throw to make than this one. And he chooses the outside one, overthrows him. You're right, a little bit of a desperation move there from Rick Campbell.
3 turnovers for Ottawa, 1 for Calgary in the game. The teams with the 2 fewest totals in the giveaway department. Jeff Fuller a catch and a first down for the Stampeders, a 12-yard pickup.
You know, sometimes you run those trick plays just as a change-up, catch team off guard, and to make other team prepare for it. That's another reason you like to run them every now and then. And then there's the times when you're just behind in games often, and you're drawing them up because of desperation.
Yeah, you're down by 18 midway through the 4th quarter, and want to keep your hands on the football. Levi Mitchell with a chance to put this one out of reach. And out of the backfield, that's a catch for Tim St. Pierre. So you saw Cote with a run, and now St. Pierre has his first catch. Again, without Martel Mallett, and like Sanders was in a little discomfort the last time he went to the Calgary bench.
We're seeing Jabari Arthur back in there, and tight end sets.
There is Sanders. Is he done or just waiting his turn? 7 different receivers with receptions from Bo Levi, and now they sweep to McDaniel, trying to reach out for the first down, and heavily into the signage. They'll mark him at the 21. So 3, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Close to a late hit there. The Red Blacks have to take some of the defensive side of the ball, I should say, has to take some responsibility here too.
I was going to say, our parabolic Mike's been in good position tonight too.
Has been.
Just like a good safety, you know?
Just be in the middle. Stay in the middle. The play will come to you.
Paredes from 28 yards out. On target again. Okay. And it's 38-17, a 3-touchdown lead with just over 6 minutes to play. Back on the field, not looking too bad either after that scary incident last week in Montreal.
bruises are curing nicely. They go through different stages, and
tough to keep a good man down. Pass complete. Matt Carter the catch.
Officials have been busy tonight. Over 100 yards and penalties for both teams. But go back to last week and in Montreal, it was scary because it was a foot. Got the cleat and came back and finished the game, which is toughness at its best. And then it was black and blue in a big way when we went on a little holiday. Too many family pictures there, or if they were cool ones. And now it's just in that yellowing sort of off-color blue stage. So look at him jump. And this time, look at right back in the middle of the action. Getting right back in there, no problem. Yeah, I got you marked right here.
Not shying away.
And see, it's getting nice. See, now it looks good. Now, this is where you can walk in a restaurant now. You say to the other guy, you go, you should see the other guy. It's your line there.
I think it took a couple of days for that eye to reopen. No referee jokes.
No.
Almost picked off. That short pass into traffic.
Is that Keon?
And Keon was there.
If he takes that and scores again, I mean, you got to have a knack for that. I mean, you know, a defensive back in a 10-year career dreams of a pick for a touchdown. I mean, that's as good as it gets. 4 in his last 10.
How about the 3 we've had in the last couple of weeks? He had one, Ronnie Yell, the same game, and then Terrell Mays. Here's a deep pass, and in behind coverage, Matt Carter. Josh Bell with the tackle to save a touchdown, but the biggest play of the game for Henry Burris has Ottawa knocking on the door. It's a 60-yard pass play from Burris to Carter.
Burris puts tons of air on this, and this is about a 70-yard throw at least in the air. This is not throw at 40 and have your receiver run another 20, 30 yards. He's getting hit. He's wide open and carries that football to get it to the wide side all the way to the 10 in the air. It's about a 7-yard throw.
Miles in motion. McDonnell hit the block. Over the middle. And it's broken up. Jamar Wall. Dobson Collins calling for a penalty. And that is a penalty against Dobson Collins, I believe.
Yeah. That's the mandate this year.
Objectionable conduct.
He thinks that he just talked the official into a pass interference call. He just got a penalty.
We believe. Let's see.
Objectionable conduct. Yep. Ottawa number 80. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
You could not signal for a penalty. Making the gesture. It's a new rule this year.
And I like it. I like this rule. You know, because you're squawk and whining anyway. You know, so what if you get hold? I've had coaches tell me if they're holding you, break their arms to get free, and that's, you know, not obviously not actually hurt somebody, but
it'd be interesting to see if Rick Campbell was tempted to challenge that, see if there was pass interference. Now a flag comes down and somebody moved prematurely. But there might have been pass interference.
It looked like there was some contact.
Procedure. Ottawa number 63. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, it's the center, John Gott.
Speaking of contact, we just showed you Ben Major and what happened to the official and the umpire last week. He is still in harm's way. That was the last play.
Yes. Fred Bennett going over. You know, based on the call on Jermaine Robinson, I would have... I'm not happy about the objectionable conduct. There's no way Collins should have gestured like that, but I'm going to challenge that. Pass is high, pulled down. Miles loses his lid on the contact from Wall. Wallace Miles over 100. It'll be 3rd and goal. They got the 3-minute warning here. Ottawa trying to get a little closer. Also watch live on tsn.ca, TSN Go. Too bad they don't have any fun on the road. Here we go. 3rd and goal from the 11. Flag down, pass into the end zone, touchdown, but was Ottawa offside?
Yeah, I think there were a couple.
That's the rookie Scott McDonnell. It would be his first catch,
including McDonnell.
Side, Ottawa number 83. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 3rd down.
McDonnell was one of them. And so on the other side was Wallace Miles. Both were well over the line of scrimmage before they snapped the ball.
So we're over 250 yards and penalties combined tonight. And it's 3rd and goal again from the 16. Onside, pump, Miles in the end zone. And incomplete. Had a step. But they can't make the connection, and it's a 4th turnover on the night for Ottawa. 2nd turnover on downs here in the 4th quarter.
Not much chance here. Burrs just put this too far in the back of the end zone. Again, he tries to throw it on a line and throws it out of bounds.
Next 2 games for Ottawa at home against Alberta opponents. Friday against the Edmonton Eskimos, who I believe have stayed east, and then they've got to do it all over again against the Stampeders a week later. Drew Tate into the game to wrap up. Fuller takes the short swing, makes the first man miss, and then gets bumped out of bounds. So Tate in to finish up in his final 2 minutes and change.
Well, a couple of highlights. I mean, this is a back-to-back tough games for Ottawa, but I like the play of Antoine Pruneau tonight. I think they've got a guy that they can work with in the interior of that linebacking core, maybe move him to safety as well. That corner outside, Jermaine Robinson. Wallace Miles has stepped up tonight a little bit, so there's some positives.
Kirk Fraser injured, so Eddie Elder in at the safety spot. That first down run for Rob Cote.
That's about it for Ottawa. They're hemorrhaging yards here. That's coming into the game. They've given up almost 1,000 yards over the last 2, 470 a game for overall yards. Giving up a bunch again tonight. So, that they got to take some of the responsibility as well and start getting some stops when they need it.
We have seen this East-West movie a few times this year. Western domination continuing.
Well, you have to in the West, right? I mean, you absolutely cannot lose a step in the West Division. 369 yards of offense so far for the Calgary Stampeders, and Bo Levi Mitchell, good bounce-back game for them after the loss at home to the BC Lions. More work to be done in Ottawa.
Second and 9 for Tate. Open man, catch made by Sinopoli, who puts it back and has another first down. Second catch of the game for the former quarterback of the Ottawa GGs. And he has 18. Looking forward to that game in Ottawa.
One thing we've not seen from Calgary with Sinopoli, which I'm sure is somewhere in the plan somewhere, he could throw it. You mentioned his college days, and you throw a little hit screen to him at the wide receiver or even the slot back spot, and he launches one.
Well, even the touchdown he scored on the run was actually an option for him to throw in the hands of Cote, and valuable time here for some of the guys that don't usually get to touch the football.
So what was Bo Levi Mitchell on the day. Again, not only bouncing back from his first loss as a starter, but also, a pick six in that game against BC. Comes back 26-36. Almost. And the one interception, the one mistake just before the half. Jasper Simmons got him on a tip ball on a high throw.
Best totals in the last 4 weeks for him, and there's Cote with a burst for a first down. Product of Cochrane, Alberta, making the most of his chances.
He said that to John Huffnagel before this game. Well, you can't lose any ground at all in the West.
This could be the best race ever in the West.
Oh, it's
the East, not so much.
Well, Toronto's going to get it together. They get some injured players back, and Hamilton seems close too.
Yeah.
They're losing a lot of close games. Yeah, I'm not sure about this Ottawa team. They've got a ways to go and a few holes, a few more players they got to find.
Well, familiar refrain: not going to lose any ground this week, but not the way Rick Campbell was looking to bounce back after a lopsided loss in Saskatchewan. Second straight week, they have not been close. And this one is in the books. 38-17, the final score for John Huffnagel's Stampeders' second consecutive week. And Rick Campbell's team has surrendered 38 points. So one team moves to 5-1, the other to 1-5. That's the story from McMahon Stadium in Calgary. So long, everybody. Sports Center coming up.